This grammar video is going to be about using subordinators and transitions to compare and contrast. First, let's review what compare and contrast mean. Compare is when you show how things are similar or alike. Contrast is when you show how things are different. Now, you're probably wondering what a subordinator is. A subordinator is a word that introduces a dependent clause. Now remember, a dependent clause has a subject and a verb, but it cannot stand alone as its own sentence. So let's look at subordinators showing contrast. So words like although and though are subordinators that show contrast. In this example below, although running is my favorite sport, swimming is better for my body, we have two different ideas. Running is my favorite sport, but swimming is much better for my body. Okay? So the adverb clause is just a dependent clause that functions as an adverb. So let's look at the adverb clause. Although running is my favorite sport. This is not a complete sentence. It cannot stand alone. Swimming is better for my body. This is actually a complete sentence and can stand alone. So this is the main clause. This is the dependent clause. And we have our subordinator, although. Okay? So the subordinator always goes with the dependent clause. Okay, here we have words like whereas and while. They show direct opposition. Let's look at the example. I am very tall, whereas my brothers are very short. Okay. As you can see, whereas my brothers are very short is not a complete sentence. This is the adverb clause. I am very tall is an independent complete sentence. It's the main clause. Her subordinator is whereas. Here, the difference between this example and the previous example is this shows extreme opposites. While I'm very tall, my brothers are very short. In the previous example, we had differing ideas, but they weren't exactly extreme opposites. Now let's talk about transitions. So transition words are used to link words, phrases, or sentences. Let's look at how they are used. So here we can see how transition words show comparison. So common transition words are similarly, likewise, and in addition. In the first example, she is a doctor. Similarly, her brother works in medicine. Okay? Second example, he must clean his room. Likewise, he must take out the trash. So in these examples, we don't have the dependent and main clauses. Both of these are independent sentences. We're just looking for our transition words like similarly and likewise. And as you can see, we're showing how things are alike. Now transitions showing contrast. You can also use transition words to show differences. We have words like however, though, nevertheless, and much more. In the first example, you will be promoted to manager. However, you will have to work every weekend. Because we're using the word however, we're assuming or we know that there's a difference. So when this person becomes a manager, their schedule is going to be a lot different than it was before. Because they're saying now you will have to work every weekend. Second example, this car is on sale for a great price. On the other hand, it will require a lot of repair work. So although we have a positive, we also have a negative. Okay, let's do a little practice. Are you ready? So in this first exercise, I just want you to identify the word or phrase that indicates a comparison or a contrast. Also, decide if it is a comparison or a contrast. So take a minute or so to do this exercise, press pause, and then press play when you're ready to see the answers. Okay, here are the answers for exercise 1. Okay. Exercise 2, I want you to select the best phrase to complete the sentence. Press pause and do this activity for about a minute or so, then press play to continue and see the answers. Okay, here are the answers for exercise 2. Okay, now to go to page 105 in your book and start with exercise A. I want you to read each sentence and underline the word or phrase that indicates a comparison or a contrast. So write CP for comparison and CT for contrast. Go ahead and pause the video, complete 1 through 5, and then press play when you're ready to continue to see the answers. Okay, here are the answers for activity A on page 105. Okay, go ahead and continue to exercise B. I want you to circle the best phrase to complete each sentence. Go ahead and pause the video and then press play when you're ready to see the answers. Here are the answers for activity B on page 105. Okay, now complete activity C on page 106. I want you to complete these sentences using your own ideas and make sure you use the correct punctuation. Go ahead and pause the video and then press play when you're ready to see the answers that I have. Okay, here are the sample answers that I have for activity C on page 106. Thank you so much for tuning in for this grammar lesson. If you want additional practice, make sure you go online to LMS. Thank you so much, and until next time.